Good evening from my part of the world. It's 14th September. 14 days to 14th September. And today is the 14th of September. Hooray! Let's have a conversation. I've seen all your messages. So after today, let's see what happens in the course of the week. Probably the afternoons. But this one was specifically for 14 days to 14th September, which happens to be today. So let's round that up and then we'll see what happens, probably the afternoons in the course of the week. I'm so excited. Those of you who were on, who joined, who commented, those of you sent me private messages. Thank you to all of you. I'm grateful for your support. I appreciate it so much. And I'll see what I can do about some of your requests. Yes. But for now, let's round up tonight, the 14 days to 14th September. If you haven't had the opportunity to watch any of the videos for these 2 weeks, kindly do so and it will bless your soul. 14 days to 14th September. What does this teach you and I? 14 days straight. It looks so overwhelming. The first day, I didn't know what I was going to say every night. It wasn't like I'd planned so much and I was going to do, as the religious people would say, 14 days miracle services every night. No. But I thought I had something to share with you. Probably things you already know. But many a time, you need somebody to continually remind you, to knock at the door of your heart for you to know, yeah, this is it. Then the wake up call you needed. So yes, it's been 14 days straight. Let's end today and then we see where it would take us, as some of you are requesting. If the afternoon's fine, but let's see how this will lead us. I'm so grateful for your support, your feedback. It meant so much to me. So, I've shared a lot in the course of these 2 weeks. Find time and go through the videos, especially the ones on Facebook, because Facebook deletes live video now. At least a month, it would expire and it would be pulled down. So if you happen to be watching me on Facebook, kindly go through just 12 videos and watch them. Put your comments there. Put your lessons there. Put what you agree or disagree there so we can all learn. I always say it is my responsibility to share. Whatever you do with that, it's my duty, yeah, to share. Whatever you do with that information is your responsibility too. If it doesn't resonate with you, no, that's okay. What I share is not for everybody, seriously. I don't know about you, but I don't believe I'm called to serve everyone. So if none of what I've shared so far resonates with you, that's okay. But please, if you find something that does, kindly pay attention to it and equally share with somebody also so that we'll get to learn. Life becomes so easier when we learn and then we share with others. And that's why I'm patiently awaiting your comments too. 14 days to 14th September. Let's crown up tonight. Life is full of storms. Life is full of storms. If you've been with me for a minute, you would know that I've always said either we have gone through a storm, going through a storm, or we are going to go through a storm. I am not a prophet of doom, no, not at all. But that is what life is. And I've come to realize now that many of what we describe as storms were not really storms after all. They were there nudges we need, the nudges we need, the wake up call we need to realize that, hey, this is not my place in life. This is not my tribe in life. I don't belong here. I don't have enough information. Let me go learn, relearn, and unlearn. So everything that might seem like a storm will give way. Because storms don't last forever, they shift. And that's why tonight I'm here to round up with you that if you allow the storms in this life to get into your heart, you will destroy yourself and life will still go on. If you allow the storms in this life, sɛ woma wiase no mu ateetee ne deɛ ɛkɔ so bebree na wonhyɛ da nte ase, deɛ ebu w'aba mu a ɛnhyɛ wo nkuran mpo sɛ press on no, sɛ woma ne kwan ma ɛtena w'akoma mu a, it will destroy you and life will still continue. Who has lost? You. That's why I refuse to be overwhelmed. And that's what I want to leave you with in this 14 days to 14th September. Refuse to be overwhelmed in this life. It doesn't matter what life throws at you. Don't get overwhelmed. It will destroy you. And life will move on like you never mattered. Life is full of storms. Some are small disruptions, what I call beautiful disruptions. Why would a disruption be beautiful? It is beautiful when you are going through it. I mean, it is destructive when you are going through it. But if you're able to learn through them, if you don't get overwhelmed and throw in the towel, but you grow through your storms and challenge yourself to get better by interrogating your beliefs, your mindset, and you go through these storms beautifully, you turn back some years and realize that you needed that storm to redirect your path in this life. So life is full of storms. I won't sit here and because I'm smiling, you think I don't know what storms means. Wait for my next book. I understand what stormy seasons of life are all about. Life is full of storms. Some are disruptive, but at the end of the day, they are still beautiful, like disappointment or delays, while others are fierce and threatening, shaking the very core of our existence. Loss, betrayal, financial collapse, or unexpected sickness. Wahwɛ wo ho so yie wɔ wiase. Bibi dɔɔ kɔnkɔn a wonim say it's not good for your health, so you won't eat. Then all of a sudden, from nowhere, you are struck by a disease that takes you years to cure. Yeah. You get it now? Disappointment. When you think everything was on course, and yet all of a sudden, the table turns against you. Something you've worked beautifully on, put in so much effort, and yet the results don't reflect the work. There are unnecessary delays, and you ask yourself, what is this? Yes, life is full of storms. Full of storms. While others are small, just small disruptions, others are fierce and threatening, shaking the very core of our existence. A storm that when you go through, all you can do is to learn. Either you grow up or you die within your storms. But I refuse that you get broken within your storms in this life. No matter the storm, opportunity, you have the capacity to go through it and get out beautifully. The truth is this: storms are inevitable. It doesn't matter how you prepare. It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter what you know and what you are still going to learn in your life journey. Storms will come. Storms will come. So it is up to us to change our mindset, so be able to accept this as a part, a necessary part of life. I will not see it as something that is coming to destroy us, but it's coming to make us better. Because I've come to realize that it's not a big chair. When we stay at a particular place for a long time and we are refusing to pick the signals life gives us to learn, to become better, there is disruption. It will force you to grow up. It would force you to become better. It would force you to swallow your pride. It would force you to learn. It would force you to desire better things for yourself. So many a time we think they are storms. They are not. They are the nudges we need to move extra more in this life. Sometimes we get so complacent. And so we have arrived. No, we haven't. Life knows, God knows, the universe knows that we deserve better, we can do better. So every opportunity around us that would push us to become better, yes, it would come our way. We might qualify them as storms. And if we are not ready to learn and grow through them, we'll get overwhelmed. But they won't last forever. No storms last forever. They would always shift. They would always shift. And found said the nsube munafa, ewiem bekle. Senso ni to, enso na nto, ewiem bekle. No storms last forever. So we are not supposed to allow the storms in this life to get into our hearts. It will destroy us. And funny enough, life will still continue with or without us. So who has capitalized on the loss? We. And that's why I refuse to dwell on that address. Overwhelming is not my word anymore. No matter what life throws at me, I refuse to be overwhelmed. I refuse to be overwhelmed. It doesn't matter the magnitude of the storm. I'll pass through it and I'll get out beautifully than when I went through it. Storms are inevitable. They are bound to happen. They'll come anyway. They come to all of us, regardless of who we are, what we believe, or how prepared we think we may be. Regardless of who we think we are, what we believe, what we've learnt, how prepared we think we may be, storms will still come. Unless we don't want to marinate into the next levels. How can you write in an examination class and still expect to be promoted? You get it? Yeah. They come to all of us, regardless of who we think we are, regardless of how prepared we think we may be, or what we believe. Nevertheless, the real danger is not the storm itself. The real danger is not the storms themselves. It is when you and I allow the storms to enter our hearts. The real danger is not the storm itself at all. It is when we allow the storm to enter into our hearts. In this life, either you become better or you become bitter. And the more you allow storms to stay in your heart, the more you become bitter. But the truth is, you can never be bitter and better at the same time. Not simultaneously, no. If you know how that is possible, teach so others can also learn. There is no way you can be a bitter person and still be bitter. So why would we use the same energy to be bitter when we can as well be better? So the real danger is not the storm itself. It is when we allow the storm to enter our hearts. You know, many of the things we've been through that we thought the whole world was against us. Other people have been through them. and they came out beautiful. They came out marinated into better versions of themselves. Why should ours destroy us? That's why I'm telling you, I have left that address. And my prayer for you on my birthday, my desire for you, my wish for you is that you also live, you will stop living on that address. Leave that address. You don't belong there. It will destroy you. And the world will still march on regardless. The world will still march on regardless. While your soul is bleeding and nobody can even understand you. Unnecessary pain that we carry. Unnecessary pain that we carry turn us to bitterness, to bitter people. We will age faster than any food and medication could help us. There will be no joy, angry souls, bitter souls. When a ship is out at sea, when a ship is out at sea, it can withstand violent winds and waves. When a ship is out at sea, it can withstand violent winds and waves. As long as the water stays outside. Yeah. Any ship that is out at sea can withstand violent winds and waves as long as that water stays outside. The moment water begins to seep in, however, the ship is at risk of sinking. The ship is at risk of sinking. The moment the ship allows the water to seep in. So yes, life will throw things at you that are unpleasant, that are uncomfortable, that are disruptive, that are not beautiful, things you never bargained for. You might be a good person. You want the best for everybody. You would be there for everybody, and yet people will still betray you. They will betray you and move on to go enjoy their lives like nothing happened. And you are bitter, destroying yourself whilst they are out there enjoying their lives. No, heck no. No. It doesn't matter who we are, what we do, how prepared we think we may be. Storms will come from all angles. Are we to be overwhelmed? No. We march on. We march on. When you allow the water to get inside of you, you begin to sip in. When you allow the water to begin to sip into you, you begin to sink. You begin to sink like the ship. You begin to sink just the same way that when a ship is out at sea, that is able to withstand violent waves, so violent winds and waves, because the water is outside. But the moment water begins to seep in, the ship begins to sink. In the same way, our lives can weather external storms. But the moment we internalize pain, anger, bitterness, or hopelessness, we start sinking from within. We start sinking from within. And let me tell you this. You may have nothing to your name in this life, but with the moment you have hope, you are more than a conqueror. You are more than the one who has everything to his or her name. The opposite of the same coin is equally true too. The moment hopelessness sets in, it doesn't matter what you've been able to achieve so far, you begin to sink from within. Hollow, bitterness, unnecessary pain, just living from point to point without meaning. If you allow storms to take root in your heart, you end up destroying yourself. If you allow storms to take root in your heart, you end up destroying your heart. It doesn't matter the angle at which storms will come, whether it's financially, whether it's health-wise, whether it's relationship-wise. Put the rest in the comment section. Whatever angle of storm, whatever angle storms will come to you, please don't let it take root in your heart. You end up destroying yourself. There are times you have to look at life and say, do your worst. But many a time, it wouldn't do any worse to you. Anxiety will steal your peace. Anxiety will steal your peace. There are times you have to just sit back and watch life do its best, its worst, the worst, and see whether it would do the worst that you anticipated. Many of the things we are afraid that is going to happen to us, many a time they don't happen as worse as we anticipated. Why this anxiety? Why this anxiety? Anxiety will steal our peace. Fear will paralyze our progress. Bitterness will poison our relationships. Bitterness will poison our relationships. Moreover, while you are consumed by these storms, life outside of you does not stop. It still continues. Life is still going on. It's just like when your TV antenna is not catching a particular TV station. It doesn't mean that TV station has closed down or it's not telecasting. And that's it. And that's it. That's why when I see people living to impress, because a time will come you realize that people didn't care about you that much as you thought. So why then do you live your life to impress them? While you are consumed by these storms, life outside of you does not stop. It continues. The sun will still rise. Is there any day you woke up distressed? You woke up depressed, and because of your depression, there was no sun? It sounds funny, yes, but let's begin to picture our lives in these images. All your life, was there a particular day that you woke up and because you didn't have what you eat, because of you, there was no sun? No. It tells you if you allow the storms to get into your heart and you get overwhelmed, life will still move on. Life outside of you does not stop, it continues. The sun will rise anyway. People will still go to work. Children will still laugh, they will play, and seasons will still change. It doesn't matter the financial struggles you're going through, the seasons will still change. Life does not wait for us to heal, it moves forward. So the better we heal, the earlier it is for us. The earlier we heal, rather, the better it is for us. Because life will not stop. It wouldn't wait for any of us. It doesn't wait for us to heal. The earlier we heal, the better it is for us. Because life will not wait on us. It wouldn't wait for us because we are healing, because we are depressed, because we are troubled, because we are overwhelmed. Life wouldn't wait for us. It wouldn't wait for us to heal. The pain wasn't your fault. The pain was massive, and yet life wouldn't wait for you to heal. It still moves. It moves forward. That is why we must guard our hearts with diligence. We must guard our hearts with diligence. Resilience, therefore, is not about pretending storms don't exist. To be resilient is not about pretending storms don't exist. but about choosing not to let them live inside you. Yes, everything around you indicates that you are going through difficult times, but you won't die. Your sanity is still intact. Your mental health is still active, high, thriving. It is the discipline of acknowledging the storm, feeling its pressure, by refusing to surrender our inner strength to it. Yeah, resilience is not about pretending storms don't exist, but about choosing not to let them live inside us. It is the discipline of acknowledging the storm, feeling its pressure, by refusing to surrender our inner strength to it. So your relationship is bad. This is not what you sign up for. But still, your sanity is intact. Still, your joy is intact. Still, you go ahead and find your happiness. Financially, you are not stable. But until you get extra, until you get something doing to get extra, it's not supposed to overwhelm you. If you have to cut down on things, if you have to downgrade so you'll be able to survive on what you have now, so be it. It is not supposed to overwhelm you. Yes, you have a health challenge. You try as much as possible to live a healthy lifestyle. Do whatever it is to seek healing, to seek a cure. But until that happens, once you lose your inner joy and peace, it is then that that disease will kill you. It is when your soul gives up, that is when anything can get you, can make you overwhelmed. So yes, you are going through a difficult moment right now. But regardless of what is happening around us, we can still keep our joy internally. You are surrounded with wicked, mean people who can't appreciate your value, but still your joy is intact. Until you move into a place, a location, a community, an atmosphere where people can celebrate who you are and appreciate your value, your joy is still intact. In every situation, you refuse to be bitter. You get better instead. Even in your tears, you are not crying like someone without hope, refusing to surrender your inner strength to storms. Instead of carrying bitterness, you choose forgiveness. You choose to be bitter. You choose to heal. Instead of drowning in despair, you hold on to hope. You hold on to hope. Instead of feeding fear, you nurture faith. You know, everything you nurture grows, and everything you feed equally grows. So instead of feeding fear, why don't we feed and nurture faith? Why should we feed fear? Knowing that everything we focus on expands, knowing that everything we feed grows. Why don't we use that same energy? Why don't we use the same energy to feed faith, to nurture faith instead of feeding fear? The storms of life will come and go. The storms of life will come and go. Not because you are anticipating, not because you are waiting for it, not because you are directing it yourself, but it will come and go. But the conditions of your heart will determine whether you stand after the storm has passed. The storms of life will come and go, but the condition of your heart will determine whether you stand after the storm has passed. Therefore, guard your heart, protect your peace, and cultivate resilience. Because while storms may rage, your inner calm can remain unshaken. While storms may rage, your inner calm can remain unshaken. When you survive with your heart intact, you will not just outlast the storm, you would grow stronger through it. When you survive with your heart intact, when you survive with your heart intact, you will not just outlast the storm, you will grow stronger through the storm. So tonight I passed by as my birthday blessings to you, that through all the changing seasons of life, you can choose to grow up instead of just growing older. Everything depends on you and I. Because life is made up of seasons. There are seasons you fight storms. Storms and storms and storms. And sometimes you are tempted to ask, why? Life is made up of seasons. Sometimes you do everything right, everything humanly possible, and yet the storms seem not to end. And when you're careful, you'll be tempted to believe, accept that at the papa bearing to me you, it is a lie from the pit of hell. No storm lasts forever. Watch, when it's raining, it doesn't matter the wind, it doesn't matter the storm, it would end. So, yes, life is made up of seasons: childhood, youth, adulthood, and the golden years. Each stage comes with its blessings, its trials, and its lessons. Each stage comes with its blessings, its trials, and its lessons. Because our life's journey are all not the same, some people will fight different and stages. Even within the same age brackets, their storms are different. Each stage comes with its blessings, its trials, and its lessons. However, passing through these seasons does not automatically make us wiser, kinder, or stronger. That's why when you hear somebody saying, time will heal, let the person know time in itself will heal nothing. It is what we do within time that heal us or get us broken. The same thing that have made other people triumph has broken other people, and that ended their lives. They are still living, not because they've passed, but you see, they've given up on life. So passing through these seasons does not automatically make us wiser, kinder, or stronger. People get through them and they get broken. Time alone does not mature us. Time alone does not mature any of us. We will not marinate into being stronger, wiser, and kinder just because of time, just because we've reached a certain age. No, there are people still unwise, even in their later seasons of life. So time alone does not mature us. Growing older is inevitable, but growing up is a choice. Growing older is inevitable. It doesn't matter what we do biologically, we'll age, we'll grow. But growing up is a choice, it's a decision. Yɛda biara ne yɛsɔre a ne yɛgu so nyi o. Whether yɛba yɛadwene mu amba yɛadwene mu, yɛnyi one day old, one more day old. But as to whether we grow up, it's a choice, it's a decision. And in case nobody has reminded you or even told you yet, a greater percentage of people are just growing older without growing up. And that's a huge difference. To grow older simply means to add years to your life. To grow older simply means to add years to your life. You are just adding years to your life. Just adding years to your life. That is growing older. Are we to just grow older or we are to grow up? Are we just growing older or we are growing up? There's a huge difference between growing older and growing up. To grow older simply means to add years to your life. Just like I've just added one more year to my life. It means I've grown older by a year. Birthdays will come and go. I will move from one stage of life into another. However, to grow up means to intentionally evolve, to take the lessons each season offers, and to let them shape our character, mindset, and actions. Meaning we are not supposed to be the same through all changing seasons. That would just mean we are growing older without growing up. To grow older simply means celebrate a birthday. Hooray! I've just added 1 year to my years. That is growing older. To add years to our lives, just like birthdays come and birthdays go. I will move forward from one stage of life into another. However, to grow up means to intentionally evolve, to take the lessons each seasons offer, and to let these seasons shape our character, mindset, and actions. A person can be 50 years old and still carry the mindset of a 50-year-old. Is that sad? Yes. A person can be in his or her 50s and still mindset, actions, character is still like in their 20s and 30s. Refusing responsibility, clinging to excuses, or resisting change. At the same time, a young person can grow up far beyond their years by embracing discipline, wisdom, and self awareness. In as much as someone can be 50 years old, and carrying the mindset of a 20-year-old person, refusing responsibility, clinging to excuses, or resisting change, another younger person can grow up far beyond their years by embracing discipline, wisdom, and self awareness. So, growing up has nothing to do with age. Growing up has nothing to do with age. Growing up is not about age, it is about how you respond to life seasons. Growing up is not about age, it's about how we respond to life seasons. The changing seasons of life bring transitions, sometimes joyful, sometimes painful. Success may tempt you into pride, while failure may push you into despair. Relationships will test your patience. Losses will test your resilience. And opportunities will test your humanity. There are some people you don't know who they are until when you're busy in their interpretation of success. Until the status change, now be who not the mind. Yeah. Losses will test your resilience. Opportunities will test your humanity. These moments are not meant just to age you, but to mature you. These moments are not meant just to age you, but to mature you. They invite you to grow up by learning patience, practicing gratitude, exercising resilience, and cultivating wisdom. These moments, that we call them storm, that we call them whatever, they are they are not meant to just age us, but to mature us. They invite you and I to grow up by learning patience, practicing gratitude, exercising resilience, and cultivating wisdom. Choosing to grow up means refusing to let life merely pass you by. It means taking ownership of your growth and asking yourself hard questions. Questions like, am I becoming a better version of myself? Questions like, am I learning from my mistakes? Questions like, am I more loving, more forgiving, more purposeful than I was last year? Choosing to grow up means refusing to allow life just merely pass by. It means you take ownership of your growth and ask yourself hard questions. Have what I term the difficult and yet necessary conversations with yourself. When you grow older without growing up, you merely add numbers to your life. When you grow older without growing up, you merely add numbers to your life. But when you grow up through the changing seasons, you add depth, meaning, and value, not only to yourself, not only to your life, but to the lives of those around you. There are times you grow so much inside that you can't hide that growth. It would show externally, it would profit other people around you. So when you grow up through the changing seasons of life, you add depth, meaning, and value, not just to your life, but to the lives of those around you. So my birthday wish to you, my birthday desire for you, is to let every season of life find you not just counting years, but cultivating wisdom. Let every season of life find you not just counting years. Hooray, I'm 51, who cares? And so what? Let every season of your life find you not just counting years, but cultivating wisdom. Because in the end, true living is not measured by the number of candles on our cakes, but by the maturity, the growth, and transformation we embraced along the way. Let's now, in conclusion, rounding up for tonight, let's compare and contrast growing up and growing older. A greater percentage of people are just growing older, and it's sad. We need to grow up. We need to grow up. If not, every change around you will just happen externally. Change is supposed to begin within so it can show externally. We cannot pretend to be growing. We cannot pretend to be maturing. Let's look at growing up versus growing older. Growing up versus growing older. In the comment section, add yours. Growing older, the natural passage of time. Like today, I've celebrated 51 years of life. Growing older. Whether I had something to do with my life or not, day will turn into weeks, it will turn into months, it will turn into years. And hooray, another year will be added to your years. So growing older is the natural passage of time. It is biological and inevitable. Woto wo hyɛ dan mu na wampie, wo ne obi ankasa, wode wo phone nyinaa ato nkyɛn, kyɛ sɛ deɛ wobɛyɛ wɔ ho biara. Yes, afe bɛkɔ, afe bɛba. So growing older is a natural passage of time, biological and inevitable. Every birthday adds another year to our age. Then growing up, the intentional process of maturity. Intentional. We don't just go to sleep and wake up growing up. It is intentional process of maturity. It is emotional, it is mental, it is spiritual development that comes from learning, reflecting, and evolving. It doesn't just happen. We make it happen. If we don't make it happen, we only grow older, we can't grow up. A lot of people are just growing older without growing up. From 40 to 50 to 60 to 70, that's a massive growth that is supposed to happen within us. But if we don't grow up, we only grow older. Because growing older is a natural passage of time. We are there at and hooray, I am 51 years old. Who cares? Who cares? How are you evolving? How are you becoming a better human? That is growing up. And growing up is intentional. It is so shada, ma kondo, so person. So it doesn't come because when your birthday, I'm 51. And so what? Hooray, September 14th. Today I'm 51 years. And so what? And no one shut down a buy. San sassy. Sa and a yashishe. Abrabon. That 365 days will come and you are 1 year plus. That is natural. It is a natural passage of time. You didn't plan it. You didn't do anything to it. It is biological. Yawu awutia se wunwu yenko adie. Afebeto, ubedi birthday. We are denga ebeba. And every birthday will add another year to our age. But growing up, not just growing older, is intentional. It is how ma kondo se ubi na saa onyi no ɛnyɛ onyi yɛde birthday plus one. No. Ɛyɛ onyi a onyi ama yɛsesa sɛ onipa. You become a better human. The intentional process of maturity. When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I acted like a child. I allowed people to exploit me as a child. I behaved like a child. But now that I'm old, I refuse to still continually live like a child, to behave like a child, to allow people to exploit me like a child, to go to places I'm not wanted like a child. No. Growing up is intentional. You would have to decide that I have to grow up. And that one, regardless of your age, you can grow up so beautifully inside that it will show forth outside. It is intentional process. It doesn't just happen because you've celebrated your birthday. You can be 60, 70, and still, if you don't take intentional steps to grow up, you will only be growing older without growing up. Without growing up. Until when you about 20 years straight, the name is still the same. Still the same. No growth inside. And this growth, you can't pretend. You can't pretend. It is something that's supposed to happen within you. So it will show on you. And it will show around you. You don't just go to bed and sleep and say, I'm growing up. You only grow older. You can't just say, because I'm rich, because I hold this position, because I'm this person, I will grow up. No, nothing would make you grow up automatically. It is intentional process. Number 2, control. Growing older happens automatically. No effort is required, just like I said. It will just happen. If from last year for September 14th, I did nothing to my life, still another September 14th is here and I'm 51. It is automatic. Growing older is automatic. No effort is required. But growing up requires choice, effort, and self-awareness. That I'll be able to tell myself that now that I'm 51, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do away with them. It requires choice. It requires decision that this is the way I want to live. Not what society says, not what religion says, but this is the way I want to grow up and mature into becoming a better human. Into first, and yes, you there is wisdom in grey hair. Into be any if you be any, or be an obekanyasasem. I beg to differ. Now you meet younger people in their 30s and early 40s, and maturity is top notch. Top notch. Nini amaye. You wonder whether they are in their 40s or they are in their 70s. And you turn around and meet people in their late 60s and 70s. Obi na no kasa aware be ho. We encounter na da bi aware be ho. And yet they want us to accept that wisdom is in gray hair. I beg to differ. Growing up doesn't come automatically. You can be 80 years. If you don't take intentional decisions to grow up, you only grow older. You never grow up. Number 3, let's look at measurement. Measurements measured by age, years, month, that is growing older. So today I'm 51, hooray, that is just measurement. By the years, by the month, by birthdays. Whereby growing up is measured by wisdom, responsibility, and resilience, and the ability to make sound decisions. Growing up is not just measured by age, month, or birthdays, but it's measured by wisdom. How wise are you becoming? How responsible are you becoming? How resilient are you becoming? The ability to make sound decisions. The nneɛma nka first wobɛbu w'ani agu so as normal because you've decided to grow up. Now you take account of them. Now you take account of them. Wontena wiase just living because ade akye wo. Now you measure your life by something. By wisdom, how wise you are becoming. By responsibility, how responsible you are becoming. By resilience and the ability to make sound decisions. So everybody is saying, let's go A. If A is not for you, you say, thank you, but this is not for me. Let's look at focus, number 4. Growing older focuses on the quantity of life. Hooray, I'm 51 today. Who cares? That is how long I've lived. But growing up focuses on the quality of life. The quality of life. How well you have lived and the impact you have made. The quality of life. So you're wakuma so and still you don't have deeper understanding into the things that made you depressed and you are still living in depression. The quality of life. Is this life the quality of life you want to live? What impact are you making? The quality of life is growing up. Growing older is just the quantity of life. And yes, sir, and nyame bore me, bebrebe, areho one areho to the other, nafia konafia, but no. Growing up means you decide the quality of the life you want to live. You live by design, not default. So growing up focuses on the quality of life, whilst growing older focuses on the quantity of life. Udu abonchi obiara nim say wunyi 51, who cares? That is just the quantity. Is the life you are living what you desire to live? That is growing up. Is this the best life you can live? That is growing up. What more can you do to get that life by design? That is growing up. Number 5, let's look at outcome. Growing older can lead to regret if no growth takes place. Until I'm copy the book, The Dying of the Regrets of the Dying. When you work with people in their 70s and beyond, and they get so much confidence in you and they share their regrets with you, you can't live anyhow anymore. You can't live anyhow anymore. The regrets of the dying. If you are just growing older, when you are breathe, now another September 14th, and then 52, 53, 54, 60, 70, just growing older. Your soul will hit you so hard when you have the awareness and realize that you've wasted your life. Growing older can lead to regret if no growth takes place. It may simply mean being stuck in old patterns, just with more years behind you. Just stuck in old patterns. Just stuck in old patterns. Sɛdeɛ wote no saa na wote. Nneɛma edi wo nya, nneɛma mma wo ntumi nkɔ so, nneɛma mma wo health ntumi nyɛ yie, wo sikasɛm nyɛ yie. Nneɛma bi a ɛsɛ woyɛ sɛ onipa na wotumi tena wiase sɛdeɛ Onyankopɔn ahyehyɛ. To live, to move, and to have your being as ordained. Wonyɛ. You are just counting your years. You are just counting your years. That is just growing older. That is just growing older. Being stuck in old patterns, just with more years behind you. Growing up, on the other hand, leads to transformation, fulfillment, and purpose. Growing up, maubisa questions are very focused on the right path. You ask yourself, why am I here? Is this all my life is about? Can I become more? Can I do more? Can I give more? How can I become a better human? Growing up leads to transformation in sakra yeba wo nipadua mu. Like the cocoon to the butterfly, the transformation is so huge that there's no way you can go back to your old patterns. Transformation, fulfillment, and purpose. You don't just exist, you live purposefully. It prepares you to handle life's challenges with maturity. The wiase beto aba obiara woma so a wosua bibi wɔ mu na woko akɔ w'anim. Deɛ wokra bɛbɔ wo kɔkɔ sɛ woyɛmboa wo sɛ onipa biara wotumi gya mu to hɔ a ɛmfa ho sɛ deɛ a wapa adekode no asɛm afa. Sɛ wokra bɔ wo kɔkɔ sɛ wei ɛmmoa wo wɔ w'anammɔntu sɛ onipa a wotumi gya to hɔ a wonhwɛ w'akyi na wokɔ w'anim. Growing up prepares you to handle life challenges with maturity. Examples that can come to mind. A person can be 60 years old, that's growing older, but still avoid responsibility, blame others, and refuse change. That's not growing up. 60 years, and yet one gym to muda. So no any choices I want make you we are sinti and an abra about said yet. There be a blaming somebody. Blaming somebody. And if 60 years you haven't owned your life yet and you are still blaming somebody for your mishap in this life, then why are you here? That is just growing older. 60 years, can you imagine? 60 crowd, 40 years, 30 years, and still avoiding responsibility, blaming parents. And I mean, you'll be the miko school could do a chair, and I mean, you'll be a business be mamia, and I mean, you'll be mammy's cast at here, Jumebia, and I'm coming to school, and I'm coming where far, and I'm coming to say at 40 years, and you're still blaming your parents? No. As long as you blame others, you can never take ownership of your life and do more and become more. That is just growing up, not growing older. Another person may be 25 years younger, but live with discipline, take responsibility, embrace learning, and show resilience. That is growing up. So growing up has nothing to do with age. Growing up has nothing to do with age. There are people in their 20s. When you speak with them, they can show you what is going to happen in their lives for the next 20 years. That is growing up. Whereas there are people still in their 50s who are still waiting and believing that someday, somehow, somebody out there will come and make their life better. My soul is bleeding because it doesn't work like that. It is better to have a plan in place for God to put your plans away and give you a better plan than to just go through life without any agenda, believing that some way, somehow, a beautiful life will come your way. So growing up has nothing to do with age. You can be in your 20s when you still desire to grow up. You will live with discipline, take responsibility, embrace learning, and show resilience. That is growing up. Whereby somebody might be in their 50s, 60s, 40s, just avoiding responsibilities, blaming others, refusing change. That is just growing older. Are we to grow up or we are just to grow older? Are we to grow up or we are just to grow older? Would our just growing older, adding years to our age, glorify God or the life we live? Is it just about growing older that matters or what we do within the life we have given? Yes, Nanaya, we need to take ownership and responsibility for our lives, and nobody will do that for us. Choose it therefore how you want your life to go, and God would watch it happen because that is the choice you've made. So we have to grow up, not just growing older. Hooray, I'm 51, who cares? What life are you living? Are you just adding years to your age, or you are living a life that would glorify God, a life that is befitting a daughter of the Most High, a life that you tell your soul you deserve all the best thing that this universe can offer, or you accept hopelessness and live from one struggle to the other and think that is normal. No, growing older is just time passing. Growing up has to do with lessons learned and applied. So I don't know about you, but a new chapter is beginning for me today. And it can begin for any of you too, for any of us too. One is inevitable, the other is intentional, because everyone grows older, but not everyone grows up. Sometimes you see couples and you think one is older. Many a time is the man, or the man is even 10 years older than the woman, and you expect him to be so matured, to be loving, to be responsible until you get closer to them. Listen, growing up has nothing to do with age. I won't lie to you. It has nothing to do with age. And yet it's taking the maturity of the woman who is younger, about 10 years younger, to sustain the home. And the relationship no go. Da, 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 da. So growing up has nothing to do with age. If we desire, say and conduct, say we'll grow up, we'll be amazed the things this universe will teach us. Every day, something will come your way that would compound your learning process. Growing older and growing up, one is inevitable, the other is intentional. Time is a river that never stops flowing. Time is a river that never stops flowing. Whether we are ready for it or not, the days turn into months, and months into years, and September 14 will keep coming and coming and coming and coming until thy kingdom come. I have no control to pause it, to stop it, to delay it. No. We all grow older. It is the most natural process of life. But while growing older is inevitable, growing up is intentional. And to see a shadama kondo to grow up, not just grow older. And therein lies the difference that shapes the quality of our lives. To grow older means to accumulate years. Hooray, I'm 51, who cares? 51 and so what? To just accumulate years. It is measured in birthdays, wrinkles, or milestones of age. Even now, the wrinkles, people do well with them. In case you don't know, there are apps you can download. Some of them come with subscription fee, just a token. Every morning you can do your exercises that whether you are 40, 50, and 60, you can still have a beautiful face. Yɛnyɛ nyansa to defile aging, and yet yɛnkɔ no that will grow up. After you get a beautiful face, what next? A beautiful face with a mean soul, a beautiful face with a sad and ugly heart. To grow older means to accumulate years. It is measured in birthdays, wrinkles, or milestones of age. Everyone grows older simply by existing. As long as we are here, 1 year will come and we'll celebrate our birthdays. We don't need to put in any effort to age. It is automatic. But to grow up is a conscious choice. It's a choice, me say no, and we have it measured. Every day we wake up, let us desire to grow up, not just to grow older. It's a conscious choice. Yes, Nana, growing up is intentional. We cannot just go to sleep and wake up and we say we are growing up. No, it is a conscious choice. It requires effort, humility, and the courage to learn from life's lessons. And if you have a teachable spirit, even younger people can teach you so much. Yes. There are people I work with, and commit me a warm. And yet the kind of things they teach me, it requires effort, humility, and the courage to learn from life's lessons. It's not about the number of candles on our birthday cakes, but the level of wisdom, resilience, and responsibility we have cultivated over time. These things won't come to us, we would have to cultivate them. Growing older without growing up often results in stagnation. Nti ɔde baabi na yɛn koma yɛn kra pray, wanting more in life, wanting to grow, and yet we are not giving it that growth. When life is calling us to grow up and we are refusing, life becomes frustrating. Life becomes very frustrating. One show you how the best shop on some CCA, or the best bayi, obi na empe wasem, obi na ye no. All you need, all life is telling you and I is to grow up. How do we grow up? By interrogating our beliefs, our paradigms. Why do I do what I do? If he hasn't been able to give me the results I needed all these years, why don't I change it? Why don't I tweak it? Why don't I do it in another way? You interrogate your beliefs, your paradigms. Life is calling us to grow up, and yet we're excited about growing older. People are in their 50s and 60s and still carry mindsets of the youth. And there is nothing you can do about it. Because if it doesn't change in the mind, it can't change in the heart. And if it doesn't change in the heart, it can't change in our actions. And if our actions don't reflect it, there is no way we'll get that result. So when the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, then we're excited about it because we don't analyze it. Do we think with our hearts? No. It would only change in our minds before our hearts will pick it. So if you are in your 50s, in your 60s, in your 40s, in your 30s, and you still have the mindset of a teenager, what more can you do in this life? You go through all the mistakes of other people, and you also get to 40 and 50, whereby we could have learned from other people's mistakes and becoming better. Nti baabi a wɔdu wɔn hwe ase no, yɛdu hɔ a yɛde mmirika na ɛbɛtwam. or you do it in baby, I see a market time to gather momentum. So we jump the next step. Why are there so much lessons? And yet we are not growing up, only growing older. Only growing older. On the other hand, someone might be much younger and have grown up far beyond their years, learning quickly, embracing discipline, and demonstrating emotional intelligence. So much emotionally intelligent that you, the person, I feel say when you end up learning from them. So growing up has nothing to do with age. If we desire, say, to grow up, there would always be opportunities for us to grow up. The seasons of life test all of us. Challenges, losses, victories, and opportunities are not there simply to age us. They are designed to mature us. So the real question is not how old are you, but rather how much have you grown? So yes, I'm celebrating 51 years of life today, but the question I'm asking my soul, body, and spirit is how much have I grown? How much have I grown? How better human am I becoming? Everyone grows older, but not everyone grows up. Because maturity requires choices. Choices. Choices that a greater percentage of people are not willing, ready, and able to take. Growing up requires courage to evolve, while growing older requires nothing but just the passage of time. In the end, life is not about how many years we lived, but how well we lived those years. Growing older is unavoidable. All of us will grow older. But growing up is where true living begins. It is the difference between existing and flourishing. The difference between passing through time and letting time pass through you. Like people go to school and yet the school doesn't go through them. Growing older is unavoidable. There is nothing you and I can do to avoid growing older. But growing up is where true living begins. The difference between just existing and flourishing. The difference between passing through time and letting time pass through us. So choose growth, not just age. Because age adds years to your life, but growth adds life to your years. I'm tired of just counting the numbers. I am just tired of counting numbers. I want to measure my life by how well I live, not just adding numbers, but just by how well I live, the impact I make, how better human I'm becoming on my journey. Those are my focus, not just adding numbers to my age. I don't know about you, but birthdays teach me so much, more importantly this year. And I needed to share these things with you in these 14 days. If you haven't watched any of the videos so far, 14 days to 14 September, from the 1st to today, please find time and watch them. Especially those of you watching on YouTube. YouTube is there permanently, but Facebook is now deleting live videos. At least a month, all these ones will go. So find time and watch all of them. In the comment section, let me know how you are evolving too. So together, we will learn. Until I come your way again, and I say much love and blessings. Thank you, everyone. Nanaya, thank you so much for your love. I haven't met you in person, but I'm grateful for your support, for your comments, your likes, your sharing. for buying my books. Hooray! I'm still waiting for your reviews. When I tell you that family is not just through marriage and and blood, you think I'm joking. Yes, anybody who is able to hold your hand, support your pursuit, to me, is a family. And sometimes these people become our serendipities. They love us so well, they do right by us, and you ask yourself, where were they all this while? There are still good people out there. As your heart is pure and genuine, as you love people sincerely, may the universe bring people your way that would also love you genuinely and sincerely. It's so unfortunate that this generation uses people. You have people who use people instead of using things to love people. I am praying to God today on my birthday that because your heart is pure and genuine, may this universe surround you with sincere, genuine, loving, and lovable people who would equally pour into you, who support your pursuit, who bless your life. People you can consider them as your serendipities. As we go out pouring into others, may we be poured into too. As we go out blessing others, may we be blessed too. When your time of blessing comes, even strangers can knock at your door until they show you kindness. So today I bless you with the blessings of the Lord, that because you have been kind to me, may God and the universe be equally kind to you. And may your heart's desires, the things you can't even share with human, but God knows, may your answers come speedily and quickly. May you nurture joy, inner peace, and fulfillment in your soul, that you be able to live, move, and have your being as ordained. Don't buy into anybody's bullocks that when you become a better person, when you have more in life, you backslide. That is a lie from the pit of hell. Those who preach that to you, they live in 4-star and 5-star houses and they live well. You have no idea how full God wants you to live to. So everything that this universe has to offer, may they come your way. And as they come, may you let God know that you are trustworthy. And you will not use the things to become a bitter person, but use the blessings of the Lord to bless humanity, to become a better human, and to make a lasting impact. Thank you for supporting my pursuit, and thank you for being a family online. Much love and blessings. Thank you, everyone, for being on. Those of you on YouTube, thank you. Those of you on Facebook, I am grateful. I received all your messages. You wish this will continue, but let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. As for the Sundays, it's constant. But as to whether I'll get the time to add the weekdays, I'm still considering it. Thank you so much. From next sections, if you have anything to add, I'll just give you the link. You can come on and equally share. I believe everybody has something to share. I'll give you the privilege to also share my live videos. I'm honored to have you as a friend, a family. May the blessings of the Lord keep all of us. Much love and blessings. Bye for now.